A former boxer executed in broad daylight. A gangland killing at the weigh-in for a European title fight. And a suspected mobster at the heart of world boxing.
You can't ignore people in the inner city walking around in fear for years. You can't ignore the drug problem, and you can't ignore the fact that Daniel Kinahan is one of the guys who's caused all of this.
Daniel Kinahan has been publicly named as the head of one of Europe's most brutal drug gangs.
How do they make their money? They sell drugs, they sell weapons, and they offer a money laundering facility. So it's a one-stop shop.
So why has the alleged cartel boss been allowed to work with some of the world's top boxers?
I'm just after getting off the phone with Daniel Kinahan. He's just informed me.
And you know what we're going to do? We're going to play this interview right here from Tyson Fury. If you haven't heard, it is June 18th, 2022, 9:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And over the last 18 hours or so, news has come out that Tyson Fury is one of those 600 individuals that has been associated or works for or in any association to Daniel Kinahan that cannot enter or travel to the United States. Word is he was stopped at an airport and he could not get on a plane. So Tyson Fury, WBC Ring Magazine champion, coming off of 3 fights with Deontay Wilder, Otto Wallin, and Tom Schwartz also are his basically that's his 5-fight span. One of the best heavyweights of this era. In my opinion, he can beat all of the guys. I'm not too sure about Usyk just yet, but I do feel he has the goods to beat Alexander Usyk. Not saying that he will. So this is a huge blow for someone of the status of Tyson Fury. You know, not only for his career promotionally, but he can't travel to the United States, and he's been linked with an alleged drug dealer and, you know, crime boss. Now, here's the thing. For months, I would get comments, especially when the story first broke around earlier this year or so. For months, I would get comments, TstreeT, how come you haven't done any videos on the Daniel Kinahan thing and, you know, the drug crime boss? And frankly, I really haven't gave a shit. I'm not going to act like boxing has been this pristine, clean sport with, you know, wholesome Christian values and shit. You know, Don King, don't get me started on him, you know, like all these, you know, not all, but a lot. Boxing, you know, has got some, you know, some shady, dodgy figures in it. And to put things in a little more perspective, I do believe that people can rehabilitate and can change. I'm not saying that that's him, but what if this guy's plan was, before this documentary came out, to try to clean shit up, you know, for himself? Now, I guess what I'm saying is this. During my younger years, I used to be involved in crime. You know, I went to college when I was 19 years old, got my GED when I was 18. From the age of 13 until 18, about 18 or so, I was a crash test dummy. That's what the kids call them these days. Like, nobody just didn't give a fuck about life, or if he went to jail or not. I was a stupid dickhead. And me personally, I think that kids are retarded until like 21, 22, maybe 25 anyway. That's just me. You know, but I wasn't a very smart dude. So now I'm 38-year-old, you know, business owner, you know, bald, father, fat, family man. I look back and I think to myself that, damn, I'm grateful and happy to be here because, boy, once again, I was a fucking dickhead. Now, I never really was going to be like, he sells drugs to the community, so I'm not going to watch boxing or support his fights. No. And the same people that was ragging on, you know, him and all that type of shit, those are the same people that still watch the fights. But one thing for sure is, you know, I feel bad for these boxers that have been involved, because now their careers are all held up. They can't even travel. So remember, he was acting as their promoter and manager. So who's their promoters and managers now? Like, that's crazy right there. So let's go look at the story here from TalkSport. On Friday, WBC heavyweight champion was stopped as he tried to board a flight from the UK to the US. Remember, he does have a place over here. according to the report from the Sunday World. Oh, well, here's the Sunday World right here. Last month, it was confirmed more than 600 people with links to Kinahan leader have been barred from entering the United States by authorities. Sanctions prohibiting travel to the U.S. have been placed on several hundred individuals due to their connections with the Kinahans, including large numbers involved in professional boxing. Business associated with boxing in particular and its connections with the U.S. are a particular focus of the U.S. authorities. Bob Arum, top rank in ESPN. A lot of people feel that one of the reasons why Bob Arum didn't go to the Fury versus White fight is because he didn't want to go to the UK. You know, he didn't want to go to the UK. He was in Australia, though. I mean, it's an ugly, ugly look. In April, Sky Sports pundit and former friend of Kinahan, Matthew McWilliams, was stopped from traveling to the United States because of his links to the crime boss. Once again, take a time out. Like the video if you haven't. Subscribe and TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. There's a picture of Kinahan with Bob Arum. You know, it's one of those situations where it's like it's getting uglier as you know, like more comes out, because like, what are these fighters doing? You know, somebody let me know right now, you know, what other fighters right now, if you notice, and don't have any fights or anything going on. But, you know, they're not being directly like linked. I mean, they are being linked, but nothing seems to be stopping their money. By the way, here is another story here of the bounty that's been put on him. $5 million for information leading to the financial disruption. So they just want to get people to tell us where all the money at. You know, we may not be able to book him. He may be flying, but let's freeze all his money, closing the walls on him. It's an ugly, ugly situation. But as far as Tyson Fury is concerned, this is a bad move, because now all of his fights got to be in the UK. He can't do no American promoting. Like, this is the biggest score, as that's what the kids say now. I've been learning a lot of the kids sayings and shit. Like, this is the biggest score for the ops. In this case, the ops is the law. They're like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. Yeah, we watching you too. We watching you too. So, you know, Tyson Fury's been talking about retiring, you know, but everybody know he ain't retiring. You know, he wants to get that Francis Ngannou fight. But if he can't travel to the States to promote it, not saying that the fight has to be in the States, but for a fighter of his caliber, bro, I don't know. It's a really ugly look, bro. It's a really ugly look, Tyson. Well, anyway, take your time out. Like the video, subscribe. Follow me on social media at TstreeT Controversy. TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. Thanks for watching.